Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here. It's been a week of firsts for me, really. Had my first live game of the Antonio Conte era at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, obviously against Leeds United, which was an experience, positive in the end. Wasn't a shout. I mean, Conte is the other extreme. Conte he's like a madman at times on the touchline. He is kicking every ball. He is living the match. And some people don't like that, Sometimes it goes the other way. But I just feel like when you need inspiration, you need someone who G's you up, you need someone who is constantly, you can hear their voice. Even in the crowd, I think, 59,989, or something like that, the attendance, even with all that noise, you still hear this man barking your name. There was a moment when, you had this little kind of period of play where Lucas was going through and didn't pass to Reguilon, who was in a good position. Reguilon and Lucas had a little bit of a disagreement, a bit of throwing gestures at each other. But then moments later, Reguilon was going through the middle. He'd come inside, and there was a great ball to Emerson on. Emerson, who was completely clear, probably would have gone in and maybe even scored. And Reguilon didn't play the ball. He played a more difficult reverse pass to Kane. And Conte went mad at him, absolutely mad. You can see Reguilon was like, whoa, what have I done, kind of thing. And I think the players need it. You've heard me moan about the players constantly and how I don't like the fact that they get an easy ride. All these managers come and go and it's the same players constantly underperforming. And Conte doesn't let you underperform. You just cannot do that. And I think having Conte go into that dressing room at half-time, and look, I'm not saying I'm privy to how Nuno Espirito Santo was in the dressing room at half-time, changing room at half-time, but clearly, unfortunately, the performances showed that I just don't really believe that the players fully, I don't want to say respected him, but they just didn't do what he wanted them to do, I think is the easiest way of putting it. Whereas I think Conte in that dressing room is like, bang, that's it. He told us afterwards he tweaked the tactics slightly and the plan, which I think was, looking at it, it seemed more that everyone pushed on, didn't do that sitting back thing. The wing-backs pushed higher up the pitch. The two midfielders was told, no, don't sit so far back. And essentially everyone was told, stuff it. We're going to play that intense, that pressing game. You are going to get up there. You are going to match Leeds, one of the most energetic, high-tempo teams in the league. You are going to match them man for man. And essentially, if you can't do it, you're going to get substituted. You could see that was the way. They ran so much more. I mean, I think I even have the figures here somewhere. So they were only the second team this season to outrun Leeds. Even in that first half, where they weren't great, they were still half a kilometre more as a team. They ran more than Leeds. But second half, 3.7 kilometres more as a team they ran than Leeds. And that's it. It's no shock. If you work harder, you stand a better chance of winning the game. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. But yeah, the other stats after, compared to the first half, first half I think they had 2 attempts on goal, none on target, which prolonged that long stretch without a shot on target. Technically, I came back and they started to get shots on target again. I think I'm definitely responsible for that. But yeah, after that, whatever happened at half time, second half, including the goals for Højbjerg and Reguilon, Spurs managed 11 attempts on goal, 4 on target. They hit the woodwork 3 times. They had 18 touch in the Leeds box compared to just the 5 in the first half. And like I say, just ran so much more. And, even Winks, Conte said afterwards he struggled in the first half. He said, but so did the team. And he said his expression was in the second half, he showed his personality. And I'd agree with that. I thought Winks was much improved in the second half. So was Højbjerg. A lot of the players were. I thought Sonny looked dangerous at times as well. A lot of run, a lot of sprints. He was a threat to Leeds pretty much every time he got the ball. Just maybe unusually for Sonny, not quite as lethal in the final third as he can be. But that will come, I've said this before. If Conte gets Kane and Son firing, or even gets one of them firing, Spurs are a massively different prospect suddenly straight away. Because they're huge. They are 2 of the Premier League's best. They're 2 of Europe's best. The world's best, let's go and say. So yeah, it gets them firing and everything changes a lot.